Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi Mr. Andy, my name is Erna Nabilla. So in this opportunity, I would like to pronounce our examination transcript. And here we go. Today, I'm going to talk to two young people who are part doing voluntary work in the sports sector. First, there's Liam Parker, who is a keen PMAX biker and does a lot of work at a sports center. And then there's David Sanford, who has volunteered to help with many different sports and who now has paid job with a sport organization. So Liam, tell us a bit about the place you work. It sounds really interesting. Yes, it's really cool. Basically, it's a huge space where lots of sports and cultural events take place. It used to be shipbuilding hangar, but the company were based years ago. The building was taken over and completely renovated and repurposed about 5 years ago. Now we have facilities for all kinds of urban sport like skateboarding, breakdancing, parkour, kick scooter. Hang on a moment. Can you explain the last two? A kick scooter is just a normal scooter with a handlebar, deck and wheels. But now we have stunt scooters and special ones for racing. And parkour has been around for a while now. It's a way of moving around an urban environment and developed from military training. It involves climbing, running, vaulting, jumping, swinging, and stuff like that. Everyone's seen it on TV and videos. People jumping off incredibly high buildings between roofs and things. So, what are you involved with? My passion is for BMAX and I want to get other people involved in the sport, but I do all kinds of things at the center. I make sure the bikes and scooters meet safety standards. I check the tracks and ramps so that they are clean and no one can slip and hurt themselves. I teach kids the basic of BMX and do demonstrations. I sometimes cook in the burger van too. Right, so you've learned a lot of skills. Yeah, at first I was a bit nervous about speaking to groups, but now I have no problem giving safety induction to people. I had to learn sports specific first aid in case anyone hurt themselves. Cooking hygiene for the burger fan, meds for taking money at the till. I've had a lot of training in different areas and gained useful certificates. So all that training will be valuable when you came to look for paid work? Absolutely. I'm still only 18 and I've been volunteering for 2 years. I'd like to stay in this sector and find full-time paid work. So obviously all my experience and skills will help a lot. Thank you, Liam. And now our other guest has made that jump from voluntary work to paid work. Debbie, you've been involved in many different sports in your 22 years, haven't you? Yes, quite a few. I started off playing football at country level and then got into coaching. I recall that I wouldn't have been able to play football without the help of volunteers. So when I had the chance to help other people, I did. Then I started a degree in sport development and I realized that lots of people like me wouldn't so soon have degree and be looking for a job. And I need more experience to compete with them all. So you volunteered again? Yes. I spent a year helping with an online sport volunteering Peru and volunteered at various events including a cricket tournament, a table tennis championship and a half marathon. Wow, that's a lot of experience. Yes, I missed that I don't actually play cricket or table tennis myself, though I do run. You don't have to be an expert in a sport to volunteer. There are lots of jobs that need doing. And now you finish your degree and you're working. That's right. I wrote my dissertation on the retention and recruitment of volunteers, and now I manage volunteers for an organization promoting swimming. I also organize events at a national level. I would never have got at the job without all my volunteering experience. It helped me a lot. And finally, a question for you both. Do you think we sometimes exploit volunteering in this country? Are they doing things for free when they ought to be being paid? Liam, I believe that you volunteer for about 10 or 20 hours a week. Do you ever feel that you should be paid for what you do? Well, of course, it will be nice, but the organization I help is non-profit making and it couldn't really afford to pay all the volunteers. At the moment, I'm happy to do what I loved and gain experience of dealing with the public. I'm living with my parents and they are paying my kid. In the future, I'll have to look for paid work. I think many volunteers feel they want to give something back to their sport. It was like that for me with football. Ideally, it would be good to have more paid position, but we also need volunteers. Sport just couldn't function without them. It is really important to give people recognition for what they do too. Thanks very much for sharing your experiences, and now we're going to move on.